live. Well, we're live, but like it won't be live when people listen to it. But they can pretend it's live. Of course, he calls me. Okay. Diane.
Yo.
What's up, bro?
What's up?
I literally was just doing my introduction saying we're live.
That's hilarious. Perfect timing for me to call in then.
Well, that's one way to put it. But welcome to episode 26 of Dad and Company podcast. Welcome, everybody.
I'm so glad we got back to the actual intro to the last time we recorded where there was no intro.
So, since you're giving me shit about it, I'm here with, surprise, Deontay, my brother, and my wife, Jen.
Hi.
Deontay?
Iffer.
Hello.
Jennifer. With two N's.
Yes.
And one F.
Yes.
Anyway, so I wanted to, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Do you need to clean the mic off? You need to,
There's a bunch of little
here,
fuzzies on
watch this. Go ahead. There, I can mute you and we won't hear it at all. You're like a kid in a candy store, just like, oh, fuzzies.
It's so dirty.
So
It's not perfect, but it's better.
it's not perfect, but it's better. Like me. All right, you're back on.
Sure.
Okay, so episode 26, and yesterday I asked if both of you would join me, and you were...
Said we didn't know you were coming apart.
But, oh, wait, dang it. Nope. Nailed it. First try.
The first one, for some reason, made me
By the way,
think
I
of
can't
Smooth
hear those,
Criminal.
so I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, that's,
Sound effects.
the rim job.
Ayo.
Is that not what it's called?
It's called the badumtus.
It's called a rim shot. That's the joke I was making.
Yes, I know.
So anyway, I wanted to discuss with you guys a few things that have been happening. I don't care what order we do it in. So do you want to start at the top of the list, or is there something that you wanted to specifically talk about?
You
Like
can start
the
at top of
ocean?
list.
Like the ocean?
Yeah, you said Pacifically.
I did. You're right. Caught me again.
Nailed it with a
I think I remember
snail.
everything on the list, but let me pull it up.
So let's start with the NFL season as a whole. So
I say we start with the thing that I can't talk about much, and that's soccer. I don't know much about soccer.
So
Like, I know enough to watch it, but I don't know enough
Go Tottenham.
to like talk about it.
fair enough. So I wanted to talk about soccer because
I know why.
Yeah, I know you know why. One, we haven't talked about the World Cup yet.
We have touched on the World Cup a few
What
times.
an amazing final match that was. That was I think that was a great passing of the torch. Like, Messi was just doing, look, I'm carrying this fucking team. Mind you, Argentina was a great team overall. And their goalkeeper was phenomenal. Love that guy. He's hilarious. And so Messi was just doing everything he could to keep Argentina in this game. But Mbappe would not let France die in that. Just every time you thought Argentina buried the dagger, Mbappe would just come back and be like, nope, goal. That's right.
Yeah, but he didn't come back enough. But that's okay because I didn't want France to win.
First of all, to say Mbappe didn't come back enough is
He should have come back one more time, I guess.
patently absurd.
France should have tried a little harder, but it's okay because I didn't want them to win, even though Tottenham's goalkeeper played for them.
Right, and I like Henry. Or God damn it, I was saying no. Let's strike that from the record. I'm gonna bleep that in editing. I won't.
Yeah,
but
because you never edit.
I do edit. Thank you very much.
Oh, you have been?
Well, I just don't edit the content that's inside of it.
Oh, well, that's what I was talking
I
about.
normalize the sounds and I see.
You edited out our draft one. I remember that.
Yeah,
Because
there was
something
then.
had played and we don't know.
I did edit out the ESPN music that played during our draft one. I was like, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think some bigwig at ESPN's like, let me browse the fucking bottom of the podcast industry.
All right, so back to your whole Henri mistake.
Yeah, so Henry can fucking suck it. Mbappe, I really like him. I think he plays the game the right way.
Has a big goofy smile.
He has a huge smile. He's got a great personality, and he's fucking amazing.
Yeah, but he took away the golden boot from Harry Kane, so...
Well, first of all, Harry Kane, so did Messi. He actually took the golden boot. I'm just trying to hate on
Mbappe just because.
So that was an amazing display, which got you thinking, hey, not that game, but just the World Cup in general and your interest in soccer. Let's start rooting for a Premier League team.
Actually, no, I didn't think that. I said I was going to pick any team.
Right.
And what I did was I pulled up a list of teams and I rolled a D20 and I picked that team, and it happened to be Tottenham, and it happened to be a Premier League team.
True.
And you were griping, moaning, and complaining when we were watching Chelsea get beat by Manchester City on, was it?
I wasn't griping and complaining.
Yeah, for like 30 seconds you were, because you were like, ever since you really started watching soccer,
True,
my team hasn't won. I was like, you're welcome.
Yeah, and Tottenham's been on a fucking tear.
Yeah, they've only lost the one.
True, and it was 1-0, right?
I think it was 2-0.
2? Okay. Well, I know, one, their goal differential is they plant Chelsea in the dirt with that goal differential. Chelsea's closer to relegation than they are the Championship League.
That's something they need to fix.
I said championship. It's Champions League.
Well, I think...
Yeah, it is something they should fix. But the last game they played, they weren't playing their starters. Like, Pulisic wasn't playing, so...
And they had it was their second string keeper.
Their backup keeper, yeah.
And
not good.
No.
Not good.
I mean, maybe he is sometimes, but he was not good that game.
Not that game. So, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's bullshit.
I mean, I can always stop following the sport if that would make you feel better, because then I would no longer have a team that's better than yours.
Oh, I mean, it'll be fine. It's fine.
I will still follow it.
That's good. It gives us something to watch together, finally. That's not anime or movies or other TV shows. Shut up.
I think in the past, couple months, other than the fact that we watched Violent Night all together, we really don't watch anything together.
So good. I've been trying to watch My Hero Academia. It's good. I like it.
You watch 2 episodes at a time, and then it's like, oh, the next episode is really good, but then you shut it off, and I'm like, really?
Riri? I do. That is true. So, that checks soccer off the list. Unless there's something else you wanted to talk about. How America is going to dominate in the next World Cup. It's going to be awesome.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Not even qualify?
No, we're definitely going to qualify because we're going to be the host nation.
Team England.
Team England. What a ridiculous thing to say. England's not even good at soccer, and they invented the sport. It's a true story.
Okay.
Let's talk about Barstool Sports.
Let's not. They don't deserve our time.
Not. They are a trash can.
So my fucking alma mater makes it to a goddamn bowl game.
And it had to be with that shit.
Flipping through, and where is this fucking bowl game? So I finally pull it up. Are you fucking kidding me? I gotta listen to these fucking jackoffs. And then they lost the goddamn bowl game. Or no, they didn't. That bowl game, that was the game they won. They lost their MAC championship. That final play of that bowl game was crazy. In overtime, just barely getting his foot down in the back of the end zone. Woo! It was nuts.
It was absolutely beautiful. At that time, we were just sitting there playing some D&D, and we were kind of starting to die down a little bit on that. And then all of a sudden, that catch was just amazing.
True, it was.
You didn't even see it.
I looked down. Yeah, I had to see the replay.
I was watching the screen, and I started screaming. And then you watched the play, and you went off too.
So, I can't believe. I say I can't believe. I can believe because it's fucking ridiculous. The platform First of all, I'm glad. Did you hear the numbers on the bowl games?
No.
I think they said every other bowl game had like 800, at least 800,000 people watching.
But not that one because it was on Barstool Sports.
That one had like 26,000. One, because no one knows where to find this fucking game to watch it.
Yeah, they did really poor planning on that.
Piss poor. Terrible. And two,
But that's good because they don't deserve to get any.
No, I was reading that whole article.
yeah, that was your introduction to Barstool Sports.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh no, they're a bunch of pieces of shit. So
Because I was like, wow, they're mocking those girls. And you're like, oh.
yeah, that ridiculous.
It was disgusting.
Agreed. So I hope that they don't get like, they're from Boston. So I mean, like, fuck those guys. But
Okay.
is that it? That was.
Yeah, we don't really want to talk about them.
I don't think that we're going to be giving them any traffic. So,
Well, they're just not worth our time.
all right,
There's other things on there more worth our time, I guess.
cool. So, we didn't talk about the NFL season. I want to get into the NFL season. This NFL season was fucking bananas.
Yeah, what did they get in with? 8-9 record?
An 8-9 record.
Yeah.
Yes. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won their division with 8-9. Everybody else in that division is 7-10.
The other team that got in with like a 9-8 or something like that. The one that was black and blue. Oh, I can't remember. He just said
Are you talking about the
The
New
Jags?
York Football Giants?
Or the Jags.
No, it would have been Jacksonville
Yeah.
because that's the right color blue.
Yep. Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm glad they got in. And then Aaron Rodgers didn't get in. That whole fucking trifecta of fuckery.
Yes, the Detroit Lions knocked them out of getting in the playoffs. Well, how about that?
Did you see the stuff with Dan Campbell that happened like during the game when they were interviewing him on the sideline? You know how he is, as Pat McAfee calls him, old MCDC, Motor City
Yes.
Dan Campbell. I love Pat McAfee. Shout out to Pat McAfee if you're listening to this.
I'm sure he's your only listener.
Oh yeah, dude, I would love it. Oh yeah, dude, I would love it. That's my Pat McAfee. It's terrible. I'm working on it. All right, sorry, Pat. We're on a first name basis.
Right. Does he know yours?
Yeah, first name, I know his, he don't know mine.
Last name. Yeah, exactly. Anyway. Fuck, I don't even remember what I was saying now.
They were talking to him on the sideline.
Yeah, they were talking to Dan Campbell, and they were like, I heard you didn't want to know the outcome of this game because you wanted to play this game. You wanted your players to play this game like their playoff implications, like their playoff lives depended on it. And he's all fired up. He's like, yeah, but we found out what it was, but I told him either we're getting into the playoffs or they're not getting into the playoffs. That's how we've been practicing all week, and that's how we're going to play the game. So when I told my players, look, we're not getting into the playoffs, but the plan is still they're not getting into the playoffs either. So I was like, God damn, why don't you just fucking bite your arm off and get it over with? Fucking animal.
Was he all red and everything? Like
Oh
he
yeah,
normally
for
always
sure.
is?
And like, yeah, like his nose was bleeding, and so that is amazing. Do you enjoy knocking a team out of the playoffs more than your team getting into the playoffs if it's a hated rival?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like, ha, ha,
100%.
ha, fuck you.
Like if you know, like let's be serious here. We know
Buffalo was knocking the Maple Leafs out of the playoffs. You're damn right. I'd be celebrating that.
bring bring.
My bad.
It's all good.
Who's
Yeah.
at the door?
Is
Is it DoorDash?
Wait, is it DoorDash? Why is DoorDash opening your door? Room service.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, he got noodles.
Don't worry, it's a special DoorDash. Shout out to DoorDash if you're listening to this. So I think, because we know if Detroit would have gotten into the playoffs, they would have gotten fucking spanked. And there's a reason why they're like plus 8 million to win the Super Bowl. They're not winning the Super Bowl. We all know who's winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the New York Giants.
Fucking Danny Dimes is not winning the Super Bowl.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jags,
Hey.
go put $100 on the Jags. You'll get like $6,000 if they win.
Hey, all I'm saying is I told you the
DraftKings,
stat earlier. I'm going to say it
Shout
on
out to
here. The
DraftKings
last
if you're
time-
listening to this.
The last time the football Giants were in the playoffs
Go
at
again.
9-7,
This
we're
shit.
gonna forget about that tie. They won the Super Bowl against none other than the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady.
Well,
Peyton
true.
Manning.
Peyton Manning.
That man is hilarious.
That's what they need right now. They need a Manning to come and help them out.
Eli Manning or Cooper
Only if he's dancing, though.
with Odell Beckham in that commercial.
No, it can be someone other than Odell Beckham.
Why? What's wrong with Odell?
He's not our favorite person, I thought.
No, Odell's fine. I mean,
Okay.
he didn't produce in Cleveland. It just wasn't a good fit.
Well, you
When
said
we
you
were
didn't like him before
fans.
when he was talking shit, or you were talking shit, whatever.
That's true. I was talking shit when I was a Cleveland fan and he was being a baby back bitch, but
Oh, I saw this meme. Oh shit! Who did Baker
Was it
start the
one
season
of the
with?
70 billion you sent us today?
No. It was one about Baker, and it was like Baker Mayfield's the only person to stop the Rams and other people from going to the playoffs. 3 whole teams. That takes talent.
oh shit.
Lost it. I didn't send it because you guys didn't respond to
Oh.
the other ones I sent.
Carolina and the Rams and probably the Browns. So he's the only quarterback to stop 3.
It wasn't the Browns.
Oh, okay. I don't know then, because
I'd
he
have
only
to see if I
started
can
for
find
2
it again.
teams this year. I'm
Oh,
pretty
I bet it was the Lions.
Yes, it was
because
the
the
Lions.
Rams lost to
Oh,
Seattle,
that's
which
right.
kept the Lions out.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
In the same season, they kept he kept 3 teams out of the play. I love it.
Savage.
Love it.
That's
You
a goat
need
talk.
to make
Shout out to Baker Mayfield if you're listening to this.
love you, Baker. You need to make. You have a Twitter account for this?
I do have a Twitter account for this.
Yeah, because like sometimes when we talk
Follow
about this
at
kind of
Dad and
things-
Co Pod.
At Dad and Pod Co.
Is that what I said? At Dad and
Co Pod. Okay.
Co.
I thought you said it the other way at first because that's the way you were always saying it before.
See, I got it right. Now you're fucking me up. Come on now.
Just sometimes we need to share the memes that we discuss so people can
Maymays. Okay.
enjoy the beautiful
That's fine. We
things
can do that.
that occur.
I should just give you the login for the Twitter handle and you can help me manage it.
Did you watch the soccer one that I sent
90-10 my way.
you about Clay Walker when he sees a first responder doing their job?
No, I read the caption, but I didn't read it or I didn't watch it.
I
Would you like
watched
to
every
watch it and
single
then
one of them.
describe it for your listeners? Click the just once.
Just once. Gonna watch this. Oh my god! So it's a footballer, drop kicking a ball halfway down the field, but just as he fucking kicks the ball, this dude just submarines him. Just fucking The Rock style. Or Bill Goldberg just fucking spears his ass. And if you don't know what we're talking about, there was a player, I don't remember what his
Quay
name
Walker.
was. What?
Quay Walker.
Quay Walker.
Packers
Quay
linebacker.
Walker. That's CWAY.
That's Q.
Quay Walker.
QUA Walker's what is it?
Common spelling.
QUAY.
I need phonetics. But he pushed a
Lions medical assistant.
yeah, it was a Lions medical assistant. There was a joke that I thought was funny that they said he was pushing a first responder, and then somebody on Twitter responded and said, to be fair, like, this isn't cool, but he was pushing a third or fourth responder, really. Savages.
If you watch the video
Savages
from
in
the
this
other
town.
angle, it's even like worse because you can see like the the medical assistant like just kind of puts his hand on his arm to like, hey, I'm here, I'm walking by you, and he's like, fuck off.
Come me.
That tantrum, he literally stomped down the tunnel. It was hilarious.
I was like,
he did throw a little hit.
Man.
Yeah, that is true.
It was like the fucking
touched
toddler
me.
that didn't get the orange cup that they wanted.
yeah, Mom, but he touched me.
My window. Stop
that's
looking
what-
out my window.
That's what everyone on Twitter was saying. They were like, the medical staff touched him first. I'm like, this dude's fucking 9'12", 400 fucking pounds, and kills people for a living
And
in
the other
front
guy,
of the nation and doesn't get in trouble.
And the other guy touched his arm, and then he shoved him. There's very different
God
contact there.
damn, like, guys, calm down. We live in a society. Christ.
Do we?
Debatable.
So, yeah, that was nuts. What else about the NFL? I remember that there was only one reason that I wanted to talk about the NFL. That's a lie. I want to talk about the NFL all the time.
I was gonna say.
But the Cleveland Browns, being
not
at
in
the
play.
bottom of the AFC North, can eat a fucking fat dick. I love it. So good. That's what they deserve. Their quarterback fucking sucks. I love it. Every fucking bit of it. You deserve $230 million in the next 10 years just being fucking garbage.
Tell me how you really feel.
Woo. Starting to sweat.
No.
A little hot
Doubt.
under the pajama hood.
Oh, I'm losing to a rug. So, what did you do? That game. And so, just so everyone knows, shout out to everyone if you're listening.
Hi, everyone.
Every Sunday, and look, I understand. I'm a petulant child about this. I don't give a shit. This is my hill that I've chosen to die on. And so, two things that I like to do. I like to go on Cleveland Twitter on Sundays when they're losing and being terrible and just drink all the tears because it makes me laugh. And then whenever somebody posts something like, well, Deshaun Watson will get him next year, I always reply to them. But I only reply with one word.
Gross.
Gross. Gross. And it's so funny because, like, 2 minutes after I reply gross, I always get a notification.
What?
And it says, Deontay Bartlett has liked your...
100%. Every time I see it, I'm like,
Dude, did you see the one that I got into? Well, I didn't really get into it, but I replied. They were like, Deshaun Watson, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, he was found innocent, you fucking moron. And so I just replied. I was like, not innocent. Actually, not innocent. And
Guilty is not the same as innocent, for one.
yeah, not guilty is not innocent.
Because you can have even the slightest bit of reasonable doubt and you can't say they're guilty, but that's not innocent.
Correct. He was found not guilty. He was not found innocent. And episode 8 should tell you all that because the judge that reviewed the case literally was like, yeah, you fucking did all this stuff. So we're going to... Anyway, I don't want to get back down into that. Not innocent. And he said, found innocent, you R-word. He called me the R-word. I was like, oh, jeez.
That's disgusting.
But the guy whose comment it originally was, who agreed with my opinion, said, will you dumbasses stop fucking arguing in my comments? And muted the conversation. I was like, fair play. Fair play. I wasn't going to, like, respond because I'm a one and done kind of person on Twitter. Just one comment and I'm good.
yeah, normally that's all you say is gross.
True. Yeah.
And then people will respond to you. I've seen people respond to you.
True, and
but
I
you
just ignore
never
it.
respond back.
I got caught up in my feels and decided to say, not innocent. How dare I? Woo. Over the line! What movie is that? Anybody? You know what movie that is?
When you say Over the Line, all I can think of is Noragami.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's not a movie.
I know. It's an anime and a manga, and I got the newest one today, and I read it in like 20 minutes, and now I have to wait for the next one to come out in September.
2 years.
September
2025.
No, September
right?
6th of this year. So it's only about 9 months. It's like waiting for a baby, but not quite as long.
Waiting for a baby, but much less expensive, and you could
Put it
just
away when I'm done with it.
put it on a shelf and leave it.
Whoa.
Over the Line, is that
Market 8, dude.
I don't know what you're saying, but
I said Market 8, dude.
I know, but
Oh, okay. So you
For s-
understood the words.
for some reason, all I can think of is A Few Good Men, and that's not the right movie.
No, not close.
Because I'm thinking of Jack Nicholson on the stand when he finally breaks him down.
No, think of
I feel like I should know this.
you will when I
I'm
start.
gonna feel really stupid when I'm.
I don't think so because it's not a movie that you really like.
Oh.
But it's a movie that I love.
Chasing Amy, Mallrats.
No, it's not a Kevin Smith movie. Oh God! Now I just went into my whole like
Okay, Over the Line, Market 8.
Market 8, dude. This is not Nom, Smokey. We have rules.
Okay, now all I went to was Good Morning Vietnam.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
No idea.
Oh my God, Deontay.
I'll be completely honest. I zoned out.
Keep
while
it
you
going.
guys were talking.
Keep it going. Dogma.
It's
not a Kevin Smith movie.
This conversation. I'm lost.
Yeah, it's movies. I know that you're. It's The Big Lebowski.
Oh, the
Yeah,
only
see?
thing I
Wait,
remember is
why
he
are we
writes a
talking about
check
The
for
Big
like
Lebowski?
69 cents for milk. And the guy pisses on the rug.
Pissed on. That rug really tied the room together. We were talking about it because I started quoting it. And we were trying to guess what it was. And by we, I mean...
So what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps?
Number one.
I've only seen like The Big Lebowski like maybe twice in my entire life.
So, The Big Lebowski has my 100% my favorite made for TV, not made for TV, but like TV adaptation censor in it. Because, you know, you have monkey fighting snakes on this monkey fighting
That
plane.
one's really good. I love
You got
that one.
mother flippers. You got, but this one is, you see what happens, Larry? This is what happens when you F a stranger in the A. So he says, that's the line he says. When you fuck a stranger in the ass. That's what he says.
Yeah, we got it. You didn't know that.
And he's beating up a fucking car with a baseball bat. But if you watch it on network television, he says, see, Larry, this is what happens. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps.
My favorites are from Lethal Weapon. When he says, I'm a real cop, that's a real badge, and this is a real firing gun.
This is a real firing gun.
And then the one guy gets called a son of a safety valve.
Okay.
Leo Getz.
What's your favorite quote from any movie you know, Deontay?
See, I'm not good with that kind of thing.
I'm strangely comfortable with it. Is that
The
right,
first one that
Randall?
comes to the noggin here is just Double Tap from
Zombieland.
Zombieland.
That's our movie.
It is.
I love that movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. I can watch it like 1.5 billion times.
That's the first movie we saw together.
It is. I gotta pay Alexia's lunch account.
And she slapped me.
Sisters and I was a Marvel movie.
What was it? One of them?
One of the many. Dude, we saw like, I'm not even joking. It was back when we lived in Athens where movies 10 was $5.
$5?
And we went, I think in 1 year we counted and we went to 78 movies.
Jesus.
Shout out to Movies 10 if you're listening to this.
Yeah, we used to go to the movies all the time. It used to be our thing. If I can find it, we have a scrapbook of all the movies we went to.
Wow. That was good. Anyway, so yeah, NFL season was fucking crazy. I honestly, if I had to pick a team to win the Super Bowl, I'm going chalk this year. Sorry, everybody. If I'm choosing a team that I want to win, it's Buffalo.
Buffalo would be nice to see win.
Shout out to Mop. You're listening to this, and Billy.
I would like that. I agree.
Yeah, I like Buffalo. I like Josh Allen. I think a lot of quarterbacks, or a lot of just people in general, if you gave them a choice, they said, hey, everything's the same except the stadium you play in is a dome. Controlled environment. You have no wind. You have, you're not affected by the weather conditions. You can play peak football that you can play
As long as it's not in Minnesota.
after week after week. Yeah, we don't want the out to come in. Every quarterback, this is how I feel, would say, yes, please, pad me those stats, give me those bonuses. Except Josh Allen would be like, no, give me 4 feet of snow right now, head first, because he's a fucking maniac. And
that he is.
I think he's a perfect quarterback for Buffalo.
I love Buffalo winners. I miss Buffalo winners.
True. Yeah,
Well,
they don't
I
win
guess I
very
should
much.
say winters.
Oh, winters.
I guess I should say upstate New York because it wasn't Buffalo. It was a little over an hour north of Buffalo, right on the lake. But
Yeah, but then when you say upstate New York, people are like, I'm walking here.
no, not New York City.
Easy.
New York City.
No.
That's from an Old El Paso commercial. Old El Paso. El
I
Paso.
thought it was Pace.
Pace? Is it Pace?
Yeah, I thought Pace was
Pace Picantes?
the salsa that I don't know. I'll
Get a
have to
roll.
look it up now. I know what you're saying though.
Yeah. New York City.
And there's one with cows
Whoa.
too. And they're like New York City.
New York City. So, yep. Who would you say is going to win? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I don't know who's gonna win it, but I wouldn't mind seeing Buffalo win.
Let's go, Buffalo. Deontay, who are you picking? Who was your official pick?
My official pick, the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Bengals.
Just like I just want to see my boy Joey B just win one.
All right, Cole, you two talk about this. I'm going to go get a drink.
I felt like he was just abandoning your opinion there, Deontay.
Yeah, just straight up like 100%. I say my opinion. He's like, yeah, deuces, bitches. I'm just checking out at this point.
He got his opinion, and that's all that matters.
He barely even listened to my opinion. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't mind seeing Joey B win it.
Yeah, like just to see Cincinnati just. I want to see how Cincinnati as a city would react.
I
to
hope
winning a
it's
Super Bowl.
not like what happened when the Cavs won. Well, I know they didn't win the Super Bowl, but when they destroyed Cleveland.
you're talking about when
Cavs
they
did not win the Super Bowl.
I know that.
The Cavs
I was talking
don't
about
play
when
football.
the Cavs won whatever the championship was that
the
they won.
NBA championship.
Oh, yeah.
And then they destroyed Cleveland.
I mean, that happens in most towns, I think.
Speaking of Joey B, though, he cracks me up when we were watching Red Zone and or whatever it was where they were doing the pregame stuff, and he just waltzes in dressed all like Rick Astley like. That's all I could think of.
Okay, here. I've been trying to come up with a nickname for Joey B, and I know his name's they give him Joe Cool. Joe Cool's already been taken in the NFL
I was gonna say by Camel Cigarettes
by Joe Namath.
and Peanuts.
But what do you think about this? Senator Swag.
Senator Swag.
It's
But he doesn't play for the Ottawa Senators. He plays for the Tigers. He needs to be like the Tiger King.
You can't be the Tiger King 'cause that's weird.
How is he not, dude? Look what he did in LSU, and now look what he's doing for the Bengals. He is the Tiger King.
But you can't call him the Tiger King.
Why can I not call him that?
There's already a Tiger King.
There's already a Joe Cool.
That's what you're just proving my point for me.
Point. Andrew.
So I don't know. Workshop it. Shout out to Joey B if you're watching this.
Listening to it.
Whatever.
Maybe he's watching it. He's
not
got
gonna-
some sort of psychedelics going.
Not gonna be either. Two Southeast Ohio and supporting each other.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
So that was fancy. The other thing that I do want to talk about.
Dana White.
Yeah,
on your list?
Yeah, that's fine. We can bounce around here. Dana White slapping his wife twice. So again,
you sent this list, and I had to look up Dana White because I already told you this. You said Dana White, and the first thing that popped into my head was a snowboarder. And I was like, that's not Dana White, that's Shaun White. But I was like looking, I pictured this little, curly top dude. But then I looked it up so I could see why you would want to talk about it. And I have opinions. They might not be the same as everybody else's, but I have opinions on it.
I guarantee you, your opinion is the same as somebody else's.
Well, probably.
So what are your opinions?
Well, I have a couple of caveats because we don't know what happened beforehand.
Okay.
I find it, they've been married they have been married for 26 years and supposedly it's been a happy marriage. I know nothing about these people other than the fact that he's like the UFC guy and he's a fucking big dude and she didn't look nearly half his size. But I have to wonder what he said to make her react like that. Considering 26 years of marriage, what the hell did he say?
That's probably what he said. 26 fucking years! Whack!
A lot of people would probably disagree, but in this case, she is legally and technically the primary aggressor because she hit him first. But him hitting her when he's that fucking big is absurd. And people were like, in the article said he hit her once, but if you watch that video, he definitely hits her more than once.
True.
He takes a couple swings, yeah.
Obviously, he was having to be like, they were having to separate them.
Yeah, I don't think that it was going to go past that.
It shouldn't have gone to that.
Agreed.
Because,
Yeah,
I was going to say something, but I don't want to bring anything personal in. I want to know what he said to her. Just because there's only been one time where I've ever seriously slapped you and meant it.
That's true.
And you were very much drunk.
True.
And you called me useless.
True.
And I slapped you.
That was a long time ago.
And even being very seriously drunk, you did not retaliate.
True. That is, and I was, okay.
Don't try to say you instantly regretted it because you did.
I was very drunk. Like, I was very.
You were so bad, it was to the point that your best friend, your soulmate, Earl, took you home away.
True.
Because you were so angry. And even though you were so angry, you didn't react.
True.
Now, did he react because he's just a violent, angry person and he's a UFC fighter and he's going to use that as his excuse and it was just a instinct to react that way with his wife of 26 years? Is this the first time it's ever happened? Because this was in public. Generally, you are more reserved in public.
True.
So what that brings up the question of what has happened behind closed doors.
That is true. She said, again...
Saving face.
I'm not going to say saving face because we don't have any, like you said, we don't have any other context. So I'm going to go by what these people have said. Mm-hmm. So she said, this has never happened, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. But it did happen.
Right.
It happened. Yes, you slapped him. He slapped you. Neither one of those are okay. I'm not saying he should be in more trouble than what she should be in, but she doesn't run a company or is the face of a company.
She also isn't built like he's built.
But also, that company that he's in... Well, hold on. Deontay, what do you think about all this?
Oh, you want his opinion?
Do you want my actual opinion on this?
Yes.
I asked you, didn't I? God damn it.
100% think he should be, until everything's figured out with it, he should not have a face of the UFC anymore, nothing at all. He should have nothing. Just until we have some type of... Now, it could be that they say they had someone look into it and this is what came out of it, but someone should be looking into that. And if no one is, I feel like the reason that it's not being looked into is because of who he is.
100%. Yes. So this is the thing that I have a problem with is if we were out and I slapped the shit out of you twice in public on camera and the nation's talking about it, I don't have a job anymore.
Right.
I don't have a job. Like, you could leave me, take the kids.
You don't have a wife or kids anymore. Or
like,
dog.
Like that. If Roger Goodell slaps the shit out of his wife on TV, or if they find out he slaps his wife, he's gone. No, he's gone.
Oh, Roger Goodell?
Yeah, literally any other public figure, but because of the sport this is associated with, nothing's gonna happen with it. That's my opinion. I don't think anything's gonna happen with it because of, I mean, some of the shit that goes on with that sport. They have their fighters, and I don't mean like prelim fighters on undercards. Like, I'm talking up and coming guys that are going to be the face of this in 3 years, in 2 years, shit, like 18 months, visiting, taking pictures with a warlord across seas.
Really?
And like, this is just how this sport is. And I'm not saying it's okay, but I thought that when they went under the umbrella of Disney.
What?
Yeah, UFC.
I didn't know that.
Well, I say under the umbrella, but they are very closely affiliated. Like, ESPN owns.
I mean, it's Disney. Disney's okay.
And Disney owns the sole distribution rights for UFC. If you want to watch UFC, you have to go to ESPN Plus and order it pay-per-view. That's how you have to watch, or go to ESPN Fight Night when it's not a pay-per-view. Like, you have to go to ESPN to watch UFC. Disney owns ESPN.
Right.
Usually Disney's pretty good about like, no, we have a fucking image to keep up. We're shutting that shit down. There is no governance of the UFC. If not no governance, there is less governance now that they have this major distribution contract with ESPN and Disney. And it blows my mind.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's crazy, right?
Is it because of how much money they bring in?
I have no idea why.
I knew none of that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And yet you still support the UFC. Knowing that they take pictures with warlords.
It's crazy.
Like Warlords of Draenor?
No. No, that expansion was garbage. Deontay?
Yeah, I'm still here. I was just like, I wanted to make sure I wasn't interrupting anybody.
Well, go for it.
Yeah, and see that, like, I wouldn't say this is a reason why I don't really watch UFC too much. It's just like it seems like you said there's no governance over the UFC as a whole, and it's disappointing because I thought when the whole Disney expansion and everything that had happened, I thought maybe they might get into check a little bit more. There'd be more rules, regulations, stuff like that. But it seems like it's gotten to the point where it's just like, meh. Why should we listen to anyone? We could run this by ourselves. We don't need this other entity. And that's what's frustrating to me about it.
Did you know that the UFC has a player conduct handbook? It's like 200 pages long.
Really?
Yeah. There have been suspensions. When Conor McGregor threw that fucking barrier at the bus and broke out all that shit, he was fined and suspended under the player conduct handbook.
I'm assuming there's no, like, conduct handbook for Dana White.
No, it's not a fighter. It is a UFC employee player, or UFC employee I'm losing my words. A UFC employee conduct handbook. Just like the NFL has, just like the NBA has, all major sports have this.
Domestic disputes is not covered in that book.
It is. But
like
I
they're
said,
probably also going to say, well, she was the primary aggressor.
Well, that's what all these fucking keyboard warriors say.
Because it doesn't matter in, like, most people's opinions, and in a lot of the time in the eyes of the law, it doesn't matter what he did to cause her to react that way. It doesn't matter if he had been egging her on all night, verbally assaulting her, or anything like that. What matters is who got physical first.
Physical.
No.
Oh. Agreed. Do you know... I know I have a lot of these. Dana White said in an interview not too long ago, you do not come back from domestic violence.
Like,
if you hit a woman and you're a man, you hit a woman, career's over. Not quoting him with career's over, but paraphrasing, you do not come back from it.
Unless you're him. Maybe he doesn't consider it domestic violence because she hit him first.
Because they were in public? Like, I don't...
It's not domestic.
What do you think?
It's public violence.
Do you think Dana White will come back from this, Deontay?
Yes. I'm not Deontay.
Unfortunately, yes. And that's what's frustrating.
And this dumbass fucking interview he did with TMZ was the most... That is like the second most staged interview I've ever fucking seen in my life. Ridiculous.
I didn't even know he did an interview.
With TMZ. You know how TMZ used to be like, oh, fucking following this guy with Cloverfield fucking camera and shit's jumping around everywhere and, gotcha. That was TMZ. And now it's two dudes like leaning up against a fucking bar having a fucking interview on Zoom with Dana White. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That's goddamn so dumb.
I only knew that there was a TMZ interview because when I looked it up, that's what it took me to, was TMZ, and it was like 2 paragraphs, and it said he was quoted as saying it was the worst black eye he's ever seen on the thing that I saw. And I'm just like...
So dumb, man.
It almost, from the way it was like worded, it almost sounded like he was impressed by the black eye she had.
And nobody asked him. I didn't watch the whole interview.
I didn't watch it.
From what I saw... They weren't like, so, bro, you said nobody comes back from domestic violence. If you slap a woman down, you don't come back from that.
Crickets.
Bye, Felicia. Like, nobody, you don't ask him that? It's a canned interview. I hate canned interviews.
Kind of like when they interviewed Deshaun Watson.
That is the fucking one. That's my...
Yes.
You got a female reporter to ask... Cleveland Browns female reporter to ask these fucking questions that were probably like written by Deshaun's fucking, oh my God, his goddamn agent. Like, dude, get the fuck out of here. It's so fucking ridiculous. Before we run out of time, I want to stop it all and I want to talk about the biggest story over the past week.
Damar Hamlin.
Shout out to Damar Hamlin if you're listening to this.
I was actually watching that for once. It was weird because usually you're the one paying attention to the game on the screen. You were paying zero attention, and
True.
I'm watching. He gets hit, and I was like, "Oh, that's not good," because he fell right back down. And you're like just playing your little WoW game and flying around on a dragon and stuff like that. And you're like, "What?" And I was like, "He got hit, and then he fell backwards, all stiff." And then like
that was
went
crazy.
From there.
Yeah, so that was nuts. What were you watching that one happen, Deontay?
I was watching the game. Yes. That's why I turned over to the Cavs game when I did. Just to, like, you see that, and I know it's on TV, and like not at the game or anything, but like you see that, and I just wanted to get my mind off of the game. So I turned over the Cavs game. So that's why I was texting you about the Cavs game, and you thought I hadn't seen anything.
Oh, yeah, because I had called you, right? Because you texted me a few things, and then I called you, and I was like, bro, do you know what's going on in the Monday night game? And you were like, yeah, dude, that's why I'm not fucking watching it. I was like, oh, okay.
See, I was very much interested in it because I'm always very interested in, one, in sports injuries, and two, impacts like that. Just people who survive literally,
So,
what's the word? Critical impacts, I guess is the word.
so yeah, just a huge shout out to that the medical team, like the trainers and everything on the field for just jumping right in and just going right at it. So that's a huge thing. It's literally saved his life.
Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, I'm glad to hear, like, now he's back in Buffalo. He's responsive. Like, he's more than responsive. Like, he's up. I don't know how to talk around it, but, like, he's
not dead anymore?
Not dead. He's not, like, okay. I don't want to make it
recovering.
right. He's in a recovery state and has his cognitive abilities. So
which is very good considering he wasn't breathing and they were having to do CPR for 10 minutes.
True. So it was just awesome. But then you get this tidal wave of overflowing support and empathy and solidarity from, like, I had never seen. You get that with the Brian Shazier's injury, but I had never seen, like, people, almost everyone painted their threes blue. Mm-hmm. Like, people were donating to his GoFundMe. It reached like
7 million.
Yeah, at the time it was like 5 million or something.
Last I checked, it was 7.
Yeah, so
and like it was instantaneously, like everyone started to go and do his, like they were at like $500,000 like a few hours after the accident
I think
had
it was
happened.
by the end of the night it was up to 3 million already, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's amazing to see.
Do you think anybody, and I'm only jumping right into this because we know now, like, he's not dead. So, do you think anybody in the NFL players, that is, are like, oh shit, that was your average hit? Like, that was a routine play. That wasn't helmet to helmet. That wasn't his head bouncing off the turf. That wasn't him falling awkwardly.
I'm saying yes to what you're saying.
Do you think someone's like, I don't know about this, I might want to retire? Or do you think people have this warrior mentality, like, no, I'm fucking 23. That is terrible, but I'm invincible?
It's the whole Luke Kuechly phenomenon all over again, man. Like, you remember Luke Kuechly was in his prime. Like, he had battled concussions and everything. We all know that now. But like, he said he saw everything going out about CTEs and everything like that, and he was like, "Yep, nope. At this point, I am done with this game." And there were other people, not big names like him, but there were other individuals who said, you know what, I agree with that. I'm done as well.
I mean,
and you saw like a wave of players kind of retire.
Yeah.
And I truly think that's what's going to happen with this. We're going to see in the offseason. I don't know if there's going to be any big names. There might be some big names. But I truly think you're going to see a wave of people retiring.
Younger people?
Of younger people, yes.
See, I don't know the history of it because I don't really follow the sport all that much. But I feel like, given the fact that it was literally like lightning striking 3 times in a bottle, that I don't think it's going to affect people that much, because he had to be hit at the exact right time, in the exact right place, in the exact right angle. So I think people are going to look at that aspect of it and maybe not think it's going to be them.
See, that's where I'm at. I agree with you. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we got some like out of the blue retirements where, like, bro, I can't do that. Like, I got kids, like or I have prospects, like I have a full life to live. Not worth me taking that 1 in 8 billion risk or whatever.
Yeah, but it's riskier to get in a car every day.
That's true, but a car is, that's part of society. Everybody, I say everybody facetiously, but like everybody drives a car. Not everybody plays in the NFL. You have 1% of 1% of people that play in the NFL.
I don't even think it's that big of a number.
So I think that they do have that warrior mentality where it's like, I'm with you. Like, we're in this fraternity together. We are one. I'm going to go out here and play this game and fight so I can continue to support causes like this. It's my best chance to support these causes, which is another aspect of it. But then you get the idiots like Skip Bayless.
Ugh.
Oh, fuck
His
him.
first tweet.
That's what he meant to tweet.
That's what he meant to tweet. Yeah.
He tweeted what he meant to tweet.
And we understood it the way he meant it, and then he caught shit for it. And then he's like, "Oh, you misunderstood."
Did you watch? Yeah, so what did you think about Skip's tweet, Deontay?
Oh, it was completely heartless. Like 100%. He's showing his true colors, and he got the reaction he wanted. Like you and I talked about, he got the reaction he wanted to get, which is that, and
the angry.
I'm
uproar.
sure his TV numbers went skyrocket because they wanted to see Shannon Sharp rip into him. And he did, in a way. He did it very professional, but I wish I would have loved to see Shannon Sharp on Undisputed just walk off. Mid-show, say, you know what? Go fuck yourself, dude.
Yep.
You never played in the NFL. You don't know what it's fucking like. Go fuck yourself.
Did you watch that clip of the Shannon Sharp interview I said that you should watch? The Shannon Sharp Skip interaction when Shannon Sharp came back.
Are you asking me? Or
Yeah.
him? I don't recall you asking me to watch it.
I did.
I don't recall. I do not recall.
Did you see that, Deontay?
I did.
Dude, it was crazy. So
It was a good. I wanted more though. I wanted Shannon to literally stand up and say, "Nope, I'm not. I've dealt with you for this many years. You've insulted me. You've done all this and that. You know what? This is where I draw the line."
right.
That's what I wanted. I know he has a contract with him and everything, and he has to have so many blank, 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 blank. But I don't care.
But it's not.
Like-
So here's where I stand on that. I think that. So, just for context, I want to go through what happened. So, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless are on this show called Undisputed on Fox. It's a big show. It's probably Fox's biggest show, outside of maybe Big Noon for college football. But Shannon Sharp takes Monday off after the injury. And then there's some speculation because Skip had tweeted like that shitty ass tweet.
Did he take Monday off or did he take Tuesday off? Because the game was on Monday.
He took Tuesday off.
Okay,
Whatever
I
the
just
fucking.
I didn't know if it was like a late night show or something.
No. It's a morning show. So he takes Tuesday morning off. And then obviously the rumor mills start churning and nobody addresses it until Wednesday morning. Shannon gets there Wednesday morning and he says, open up the show. And he says, look, I want to address the elephant in the room. I took, and goes into his monologue, I took Tuesday off because it hit me differently. We're in this football fraternity. I've never seen shit like that. That shook me. I took a day off. You know? And I didn't want to talk about you and your tweet on Tuesday. You were not, I don't think that you should be the focus. You're not the focus. Damar
At
Hamlin
that point, Skip interrupted him.
he then said, I wish you would take your tweet down. And that's when Skip barged in and interrupted him And that's when Shannon, I say lose it. For Shannon Sharp, he lost it. He was like, dude, I can't even get through my fucking, he didn't say it like that, but I can't even get through my monologue without you interrupting me and disrespecting me. So we're done. Like, and turned to the moderator or whatever, and was like, let's continue the show. Like, let's go. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And then Skip tried to, like, bait him in again. And he was like, no. Like, I'm not fucking talking about this. I can't even get through my monologue without you fucking interrupting me. So, next. Now, I do agree with you, Deontay. That was Shannon Sharp's boiling point. Like, that was too personal. These
You're
guys
talking about the dude who's interrupted him and insulted him personally, saying that he was never a committed football player and just like all this and that.
Neither was
But
Skip
no,
Bayless.
that was the point.
Now, I take a step back because I like to soak in facts. So what do I see out of this situation? These two are playing characters. Now, granted, they are probably themselves, but it is definitely a heightened version of themselves. So they need to do what they got to do in order to drive traffic, in order to be one of the biggest shows, in order to compete with ESPN, because that's what you do in that industry. Mm-hmm. You have to compete with ESPN.
Right.
So that show is directly competing with Stephen A. Smith and his show.
I don't care.
So I think, and Shannon Sharp has publicly said, like, Skip is a good dude. Like, in the past, he said, I like working with him. He does what he's got to do. He's a dedicated worker. He is a great person off stage. Like, we get along. We're friends. But I think that this incident was so shitty. It was so down in the weeds. Way too personal. Skip should have kept his fucking mouth shut. Just once. I get it, man. I know what you do for a living.
Stir the pot.
You stir the pot. You traffic in human emotion. That's what you do. But you only need half of that tweet. You only need, bro, this game is not important. Support Damar Hamlin. You don't need to say, oh, do we really need to shut this game down? Yeah, dude, shut the fuck up. Some things are more important than football. Human lives are more important than football. So that's where I stand on it.
Yeah, and I agree with that stand 100%. And I said that from the beginning. It's like I think I had brought up the Skip tweet to you. I don't think you had seen it yet. And it was like you read that and you're like, what the fuck? Who does this guy think he is? A dude who's never played the sport in his probably entire life.
That's crazy.
Tweets this out right after 10 minutes of CPR, and like get it, like it just, and I didn't watch. I don't think I was emotionally ready for week 18 of the NFL season. I didn't watch a single minute of the games, not a single one. Like, I went to go to turn it on, and I was just like, I feel disgusted turning this on. And I get, you gotta, and at that point, we had known that he had waken up and, like, all of that. It's just, I just didn't feel, I don't know how to describe the feeling. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. But
And I've never felt like that. Like, and we've seen some pretty awful injuries, but that one just was different. And I just couldn't bring myself to watch any of the games.
One of the first things I actually thought of when it happened was Chris Pronger. Like 20 years ago, he took a puck to the chest on a Mother's Day game, and he got up, he took 2 strides, and then just collapsed to the ice because his heart had stopped. His heart had actually stopped before he stood back up. And like it doesn't make me emotional. Maybe I'm weird because I don't get emotionally attached to it, because it's not someone I know or anything like that. So it's like I can put that distance, between it and like separate it so it doesn't get to me like that. I respect what he's going through, and I think that the NFL made the right decision to just straight up cancel the game, but it's not hitting me on a personal level. Then again, like I said, I don't follow the sport. Maybe if I followed the sport, I would feel more about it. I don't know, but
I don't know.
Really
Maybe it was because I was actually watching the game when it happened. And I saw that at the point of it happening. Like, maybe that's more of what it was. But yeah, I understand that because, like I said, we've seen some horrific injuries. We've seen a lot of horrific injuries on punt returns, kick returns, stuff like that, where people literally are completely passed out on the field. And I've been able to come back, but I don't know if it was just more of the fact that I was just sitting there watching the game and it happened.
that's true. But, the NFL is going to go on, it's not going to stop for anything in the long run. You know what I mean? Obviously, they made the right call. They're not that they can't. They're not going to stop football forever. But they did make the right call in canceling that game.
I mean, we could just go back to gladiators.
Just throw people in the pit.
It might be more humane.
Are you not entertained? Another movie quote.
Yeah, from the Gladiator.
Oh, is that what that's from? I thought it was
just saying it might be more humane and it would probably be safer.
more humane. Yeah, it can't be less humane, right?
So, speaking of bad sports injuries, what is the worst sports injury you can think of? I know what comes to my mind immediately.
Well, you know what comes to my mind immediately.
Is it?
Well, hold on. We know.
Are we talking about the hockey one?
Yep.
Clint Marlichuk?
Yep.
Clint Marlichuk.
Buffalo Sabres taking
100% worst one ever.
No, not his aorta, it was his jugular.
His jugular, yeah.
And his blood just started pouring all over the ice.
Oof. There was.
Oh god.
Yeah, there was that one.
Saved by his trainer though, because the guy was a medic and he just reached in there, grabbed it, and clamped it down with his own fingers and held it as they skated off the ice together.
Oh God. Oh, it just makes me shake thinking about it. That was
I think I ranked those 1 and 2, the DeMar Hamlin and that one. That's 1 and 2 for me.
Yeah, I wonder if that's another reason why it doesn't bother me as much, because I grew up with hockey and people get nasty hits all the time.
You said you grew up with hockey. You don't know what the NFL was like back when I was growing up.
I don't know. You're right, I don't. But I grew up with hockey and the injuries were left and right. They were a lot worse when I was younger too.
Headhunters.
Back when the goalies didn't even wear any sort of mask or helmet, That was a little bit before my time.
I was going to say.
I still watched those games on Classic and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm talking Mean Joe Green and the Steel Curtain, and yes, that was before my time, but with that, you got dudes literally headhunting, and it's okay.
I mean,
yeah, that was back before the rules and regulations.
It still doesn't bother me to see sports.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either.
Even watching that live, I felt for his family, but it didn't affect me on a personal level.
Yeah. Well, me too, but I'm glad they canceled the game.
Yeah, that was a good call. A surprising call, though, given the NFL's history with
very
anything.
surprising.
Yeah, I told you that I felt like they needed to when that happened.
True, and
You
I
were
told
like,
you.
oh yeah, there's no way that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I did say that.
One of the cool, yeah, you were telling me like, oh no, they'll play again. I was like, really? I was like, this dude is getting carted off in an ambulance after his heart.
Not
stopped.
only did I think they were going to play again,
You thought it was going to continue that night.
I thought it was going to continue that night.
But one of the coolest things that happened in the whole situation, I thought, was how respectful the Cincinnati fans were. They stood silently the whole time. They applauded
agree.
when they got him off the field and everything. And then there were people there that had Bengal signs. There was one guy who like had a Bengal sign, but he flipped it around and he had a pen and it like said prayers for number 3 that he just made right there in the stands and stuff like that.
Jen, my boss, or my former boss, Jen, she was at the game and she said it's the fucking quietest.
It was so quiet.
She
Because
said it was
usually even when it's
eerie.
like, even when it's kind
get,
of
like,
quiet,
murmurs
you can
and,
still
like-
hear it.
She said it was fucking like pin drop quiet in that stadium. It was nuts. Not only that, she was at the Dolphins game when Tua got injured in
She needs
Cincinnati.
to stop going to games.
That's what I told her. You're fucking bad luck for people. Like, god damn.
Stay home, lady. Stay home.
Shout out to Jen if you're watching this.
Or listening to it.
Watching?
So that's our list of topics. I'm glad we got through them. It ran a little long. I like to keep it under an hour, but it's fine. Hour and 10's good. It's good. So,
You're welcome for me contributing.
what's your parting knowledge? Impart some parting knowledge in us. Impart wisdom, words. Say something.
Who?
You.
About what?
Anything. What's your going away wisdom? Say something smart.
E equals MC squared.
Nail it. Deontay, say something smarty.
Shouting out my Cleveland Cavaliers playing tonight in Utah. They're going to pull out that W. But the real wisdom here that's coming.
Shout out to the
is
Cleveland Cavaliers if you're listening to this.
Better than engineers.
Accountants are better than engineers.
I'd rather have an engineer around because I have a calculator.
Oh my God, top rope.
And it can do amortization schedules, so.
Well, I believe, not to stick up for bean counters here, but I mean, I think that he does a little more than amortization schedules.
I'm just saying.
I do financials as a whole.
Why are you like sticking up for him when you're the engineer?
I can't help it. I'm sorry.
This is why I hate watching sports with you. We're watching the Manchester Chelsea game the other day. You finally walked away, and I thought it was hilarious. And they did what I said they were going to do. They scored again, not
Twice.
Chelsea.
Twice.
But, like, that was a really nice goal. Dude, they just scored on you. Stop saying it was a nice goal, but they're playing so well. I don't care. That's not your team.
Look, there are two things that people say in this world that I call bullshit on, that I truly follow. I love sports.
Sports ball.
I love sports ball. I love, like, you will be hard pressed to find a sport that I will not sit down and watch. I love sports.
Flea jumping.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, fleas can jump over 600 times their height. I would watch the shit out of that. The other one is music. I love music. I will listen to any music.
Yes.
And people are like, oh, I'll listen to anything, just put it on. Like, okay, but I'm going to put on my playlist.
Yeah, you're going to put on something that is, what's the frickin' stuff called? Oh my God. It's going to be like a rapper who does bluegrass or something like that.
Yeah, a rapper who does bluegrass that sings pop music. Yeah, I love it all. I love all music. So, and I just can't help it.
Frustrating.
If it is a nice goal, it's a nice goal. Yeah, it's better when it's my team playing and doing the scoring.
But I think part of the reason why it was
But that's after so many years
bad,
of heartache.
the reason why it
True.
was so bad for the Manchester Chelsea game is there were literally 0 words of encouragement coming out of your mouth for your own team. It sounded like you
It
were
was
only rooting for Manchester.
4-0. What did you want me to say?
They're really trying to rally.
Come on, guys. You can make that pass. Let's get above 27%
But they couldn't
possession.
make the passes. They couldn't. And they couldn't advance at all. They kept backtracking. And then Manchester's like, oh, we're going towards your net.
Yeah, dude, it was so bad. It was so bad. Also, the Suns need to get their shit together because
below 500.
they're not doing. I mean, Book hasn't been playing. I get that, but god damn.
You say Phoenix Suns, and the only thing I can think of is one person.
The Phoenix Suns.
Nash.
Oh, Steve Nash, yeah. My
Only
favorite
person I can
my
think
favorite
of.
basketball player of all time. Shout out to Steve Nash if you're
My
listening
favorite
to
hockey
this.
player of all time.
My favorite Canadian. Him and Wolverine. My two favorite Canadians. And Justin Bieber.
No.
No? Is it too late to say I'm sorry?
Is that one of his songs?
Yeah. Get it? Shout out to Biebs if you're listening to this.
There's a Biebs in the living room.
Biebs! So, thanks for listening. Again, we got sidetracked. It happens every time. It's
I'll
becoming
stop
a... No, it's fine. Wait, you will?
It's a common occurrence.
A common occurrence, true. So, I will... God damn. To everybody listening, thank you for the continued support, or thank you for a new audience, depending on who you are. Remember to tell your friends, tell your family, and I don't give a shit if you tell your enemies, as long as the word gets around. Peace!